Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. This is Beckoned Blackest Night, the world's greatest Curse of Strahd actual play, and you, yes, you, are watching Crit role-playing games, the greatest gaming community since a Japanese sewing company, Jaguar, developed a sewing machine designed to be used with a Nintendo Game Boy. Yes! That really happened. So happy. So happy right now. I don't know if you can tell. I have a passive resting face of bitchiness, but I am very happy to finally be back in the DM seat. I wrested it away from Christian.
It was a tough battle.
It was rough, and it really came down to a singular dice roll. And unfortunately, I'm just luckier than he is. So yeah, I appreciate the gods of fortune. What's going on, guys? Thanks for joining me.
I am keen to play again. DMing is fun, but playing is more fun.
I agree.
What is about playing that you enjoy more?
The stress-free.
The lack of control. You like someone else taking the wheel for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like. See, I think I do like to be in control when I am playing, but I don't have to like plan or prep anything, and I think that's one of the nice parts.
Yeah, well...
Is it because no one's harassing you for a level up? Is that why?
That's a good thing about the thruple. Obviously, it's a thruple. There's no leveling up, so that was nice for me.
And we were level 20.
Yeah.
Yes. No further to go.
There's nowhere really to go from there. You kind of hit the ceiling. Well, I don't do any prep work anyway, so for me, DMing is kind of like playing anyway. Just kind of fucking make it up on the spot. Speaking of making things up on the spot, it's been a little while since we've been here, back in the main story. So I'm pretty excited to get back into it. But as we all know, the people want the banter because that's what we're known for. Around the world. It was written in Revolver magazine a couple of months ago, like top-notch banter, but the role play is a bit average. So, shall we go to our banter topic for tonight?
Go for it.
I didn't warn you guys ahead of time because again, prep work, not my thing. But tonight's banter topic is. Let's get back into the theme of things. What is your favorite horror creature / monster? I feel like I've got the wrong music playing at the moment. This is the wrong one. Let me change it to this one. There we go. Embarrassing, yes. I wasn't going to say it, but glad you did. I'm very embarrassed. Let's go across the board. I should mention as well before we do that, Gemma is not available to join us for tonight's episode, which is unfortunate. Nothing scatological will happen to her character while she's away. I promised her that. So yeah, she should be hopefully back again next week. But for the time being, her character will just be, following you guys around and hopefully not dying. But everyone else is here, so let's go across the board. Let's introduce ourselves again, just real quick. Who you are, who you're playing, your character, and your favorite horror monster / creature. It can be from any popular media as well. Start with you, Dan.
Oh, that's great. I've got nothing thought about. This is going to be good. I'm Dan. I'm playing Bill Iron Dancer, the human sorcerer. Very well versed in magic, having never casted a spell. In terms of horror, I think when done right, like first season zombie is always really good. The issue is that once you've had a season of zombies, you need to escalate your enemy, and that's when the most zombie TV shows just kind of cark it.
Yeah, are we talking about classic Dawn of the Dead zombies, the stumblers, the slow ones?
Yeah, Dawn of the Dead style, like that first part of when Walking Dead used to be good. Like that was really
before it aired on TV.
No, that first like season and a half was pretty good.
I'll
But
take
like
your word
the
for it.
Last of Us, Last of Us style, like that's really good. Where it can like it just builds that horror element where you're just not quite sure what's going to happen because there's like if they bite us, will we turn, or is it something else? Is it There's a bit of mystery in there too.
Yeah. Okay. So going towards an old classic. I find like the zombie thing is quite like strange as well when you really think about it. But it does kind of dig into this idea of not being in control and things returning from the dead. That's kind of been like something that people have been afraid of for a really, really long time. And now,
sorry.
No, please.
Well, one show that's recently captured, I think, that unknown undead sort of style really well is Brom. Have you seen that?
Do you say Brom?
Brom, as in I am from. Like.
Oh
Yeah,
no!
someone at work told me to watch that the other day.
Never heard.
Yeah, from the maker of Lost. It's really, really good. Got lots of horror, but turns into like a bit of a psychological thriller with it too.
Have they finished writing it before they started filming it?
Aired 3 seasons and got a 4th on the works.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, hopefully they they don't repeat Lost's mistake where they lost the script and just started making it up episode by episode. Because
you could really tell when Lost changes, can't you?
Yeah.
Because it was really good, and then it was like, huh?
And wasn't it a writer strike or something like that? Like so they had no writers for the show, so they just started making it. I don't know. There's a fucking smoke monster. It's a dinosaur. There's a bunker. There's a guy in there. I don't know. It's kind of like the way I DM.
I think Lost literally was everyone called that they were already dead, and so they went on for like 6 seasons going, no,
Maybe not.
but why would we have this other storyline that, we gotcha?
Surprise, cockbags. They were dead all along. It's like the Sixth Sense, but dragged over 6 years worth of content. Speaking of things that see dead people, Mod, what's your favorite horror creature?
Return to me. I'm creating a poll with everyone's answers.
Oh, okay, all right. Can't promise you, but maybe we'll come back to you. Grace, favorite horror creature / monster, whatever.
Look, I'm a little bit, I don't know. I want to go for something a little bit underground. I like myself a good Mononongal, personally.
Oh my god, of course. You have to have the most obscure thing that nobody's ever heard of. Classic. Counterculturalist
does
at his
everyone
best.
know what a Mononongal is?
No one knows what a fucking Mononongal is. You just fucking made that shit up.
I
can't even say it.
With a question mark.
I googled it, and there is a African tribe and about 3 other pictures on Google, and then it's ran out of results.
Yeah, like no one's heard of this. No one's
like
heard of what a
Mononoke,
Mononongal.
like
You
an
made
anime
that
or-
shit up. You just said a word and hoped
did
it was a
not.
thing. Just like
I
bobbery.
did not. So a Mononongal is a creature from Filipino folklore, and essentially what it is during the day she is a human, so she looks like a woman, and then during the night her torso separates from her legs, and all of her entrails hang out from where her torso separated, so like all her lower intestines and everything. She grows bat wings, and she essentially flies around like a vampire, feeding on pregnant women.
I think the problem was all the O's. I do actually know this creature. I was making a homebrew stat sheet of them for my source book. I think wouldn't it all be Mananangal because it's all A's?
Look, my friend's Filipino, and we were talking about this the other day. No, it's actually Mononongal.
Really? I guess it's
Yeah.
they pronounce words.
But yeah, no, I'm a huge fan. I just think that like it's a really interesting way to do a vampire that I feel like I would love to run one of these because you would never see it coming as a player, because walks during the day, like, you know, very specific feeding type. The only way you can kill it is if you find their lower half and burn it to pieces. Like, I just think it's such an interesting monster, and from a non-D&D perspective, I just think it's really interesting.
It's half the vampire Strahd is.
Yeah.
Now, do you know the difference between a Munanungal and an arse swing?
No.
This is a real question, because apparently an arse swing is the same thing, but it doesn't separate from the body. I thought it was a joke, but it came up. It's trivia. An arse
It doesn't
swing.
separate. So you mean just a vampire?
There is a distinct difference between an arse swing and a Munanungal, where it does not separate from its body. This allows it to blend in, even at night.
An arswing is just a vampire then?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just a vampire.
Just like a normal one.
I feel like an
And,
arse
like,
swing
so
is like
the-
when a married couple wants to like get it in touch with another married couple, but you know they don't want to risk pregnancy. That's what I think an arse swing is.
An arse swing is when the top half flies off, and then somebody runs in the room and uses the lower half.
Oh, no. Oh, I feel like I need to cut my own mic.
Well, it's been a good session, everyone.
Please keep talking about this made-up thing,
Yeah.
Grace.
But yeah, no, I just think the feeding is really interesting. Like, that's how they stay. So instead of vampires who drink blood too, and that's what keeps them young, the reason why Munanungals feed specifically on pregnant women is because they're draining the life out of the baby, and that's what keeping them young.
Like as opposed to the other way around, where the baby drains the life out of everyone else. Anyone who's had kids, they know what I'm talking about. Speaking of people who've had kids,
Didn't.
Christian, what's your favourite made-up creature?
I have not have kids.
Oh.
I'm not doing the thumbs up.
My favorite one, I was trying to think back to my mind first of all went to like what I think is the coolest, but that's not really horror, and it was because it was like a werewolf from Underworld, but that's an action movie, not a horror movie. And I was trying to think of the first horror movie that properly scared me, but that wasn't just like a regular person, because the first one was like some guy, like a neighbor. I forget the name of it. I'll remember the show later, and I'll tell the stream. But horror creature, it would probably be ghost, but not like the physical ghost, the possessed person. A lot of the movies that have always freaked me out have been movies like Hereditary, where you the person that is close to you ends up basically completely shifting into madness or possession, or sort of just sitting silently in the corner of the room. Hereditary is probably one of the scariest movies I remember seeing, like where the mum is in the house at the end, turning on the eldest boy, and that just freaked me out. So yeah, I think someone close to you who is taken over by something else. So I guess my horror creature is like a regular a close family member, not acting.
Someone with mental problems is what we're trying to get.
Yeah.
A lunatic. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No,
I
I
was
get
gonna
that.
say,
But not just when it's like some random person,
actually,
only when it's someone
Hereditary
close to
is
you
a demon,
first.
isn't it?
Yeah. It was a demon, but those whole ideas of like
Yeah.
shows where it's like a ghost possesses someone.
Possession,
That's why,
yeah.
like, a ghost wasn't really a good idea, but possession, when someone is close to you and then they just
Possession.
shift their personality. That is,
I think.
yeah.
Have you seen the Insidious movies, Christian?
I think. Let me check.
It's got frickin' Ed Warren. I don't know the actor's name. I just know him as Ed Warren.
Oh yeah. No, these ones scare me as well, and with that, like the demons like behind him in the kitchen, like half his face. Oh.
Oh, that's creepy as fuck. Like, I remember What movie? I'm really into horror movies. I think it's Final Destination, where that girl gets hit by the bus mid-take. They actually had to insert like a whole scene because the screening audience was so traumatized by it that they needed a whole scene to calm down from the fact that it just took them so far by surprise. And that movie is exactly that for me. Like, it was so scary.
So
Yeah,
we can.
that's definitely it for me, I think. Because looking back on it, like Insidious, The Conjuring, The Evil Dead, Annabella, like all these movies are ones that have scared me, and I realize now it's when like someone close to the main character gets possessed. That's my horror creature possession. It's a power rather than a creature, I guess.
I can dig that. Like, yeah, no, something that takes over someone else's body. Like, even like, you know, digging back into like Celtic folklore, like what are they called? You know, they take over someone else. They kidnap someone and replace your child with someone else or whatever. What's it called? I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, doppelganger. Yeah, that's the German word for it. Yeah, you know, yeah, I think doppelganger is the fucking go away, mosquitoes, you little bastards. This is my stream. Stop trying to upstage me. Get out of here. Get out of here.
It's your turn, Sven.
Oh, what was I talking about? No, it's you. You're up. Do I have to do one?
Yep.
Really? As the host?
You don't have to.
No, okay, I'll do one. For me, you know, horror is a difficult genre for me because I tend not to really be, you know, influenced by or like emotionally affected by things, being dead on the inside that I am. So I think things for me are like, and this is like a little bit in the vein of what Christian said as well. It's not so much a creature as it is like just an idea. And that is like cosmic horror is, and like dream-related things. I don't like because, you know, vampires, yeah, physical things. I don't really give too much about. I do like a good vampire if it's done well, but generally speaking, they're done dirty, twinkly, like sparkly guys and shit. But you know, dream things, because I've had such a history with, you know, bad dreams and stuff like that. The idea that there is something, you know, like an alternate sort of universe or something like that, you know, sort of exists but doesn't exist, and you kind of slip into when you're in your dreams, that scares the shit out of me, just because of those dreams that I've had in the past. Speaking of dreamy things, Mod.
Yeah, I go with Christian was pretty much on it with the people, but logical or fanatical killers.
Okay. So like serial killers or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah, like if some, like in Watchmen, you've got the really smart, what's his name?
Ozymandias.
That's it, Ozymandias. And yeah, the you know, if you're smart enough, you can rationalize yourself into anything and put one over everyone, and that is scary as shit to me. Like,
are you talking like your Jigsaw?
Are able to pull strings, and yeah, I struggle a lot with that stuff. So that's the scariest for me.
Are you talking about like your Jigsaw kind of like serial killers, where that's like the murder is justified because, like, what did Jigsaw say? Like, the murder's justified because, like, now they have a new life and they'll, like, appreciate the fact that they survived. Is that kind of, is that the kind of vibe?
Not so much about justified to the world or the code. Just everything gets left in the wayside. So I guess Jigsaw would be a far offshoot of it. But you know, I didn't see Jigsaw as the same type. That just seemed like a crazy person that wanted to cause people pain and put them through something.
Ooh.
I mean, someone that wants to affect change and will do it by destroying everything.
I feel like it's like that cold calculation, absent, you know, sort of moral dilemma. Someone who would happily kill 50 people to save 100. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. No, I dig that.
It's like they say the best villains that are like ever written are the ones that don't see themselves as the villain. Like that whole like Thanos thing is like, it's that whole, he never saw himself as the villain, he was the one saving the world. And that's like, when you've got that level of like justification and that side of things, when you've got the intelligence to back it up.
Yeah.
Like that's, yeah, I get you, bud.
I kind of feel like
when I watch those things and you start like, if you've ever read like the Unabomber stuff, and you're like, there's a lot of good points there.
The Unabomber is like so scary. I completely understand. Like, I'm really into criminology and stuff like that, and reading like Fred Kaczynski's like, what is it when they publish a thing, like a manifesto?
Memoirs?
It's really scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes open for my manifesto sometime down the line. I was going to say, are you afraid of that, Mod, because your wife is intelligent? But we can dig into that in the next episode of Debriefing Strahd.
Well, you keep your enemies close.
All right, so speaking of enemies, shall we launch into this episode? Because it's been like well over a month now since we've played mainline.
I'm keen, but I can tell Dan's keener. He's in blink the entire time.
Yeah, I know. He's stony faced. I don't know how he does it.
Riddle him.
Hell of a poker face.
Ritalin.
I was going to say mountains of cocaine, but Ritalin works too.
Mountain Dew. Just straight up liters of Mountain Dew.
Ritalin.
Just an IV drip.
Ritalin.
It's not mine, it's a friend's, trust me.
So I'm going to do a little brief recap before we launch into tonight, but before I do that, I just want to quickly thank tabletopaudio.com for providing the ambience tracks that you hear on your screen, if you can hear your screen. And of course, I want to thank Above VTT as well. It's free and it integrates with D&D Beyond. So if you want to play with your friends, make sure you check it out. Also need to do quick potential trigger warning for tonight's episode. This episode may feature themes that some viewers find distressing, including descriptions of violence, horror themes, and child abuse. If any of these themes cause you to experience anxiety or distress, I would encourage you to quit watching immediately. Consider yourselves warned. And we have a heavy dosage of mod tonight as well.
In the vote, guys.
Yep.
You're the best one.
Chuck your vote in there. Find out what the best horror creature is. I know it's not going to be my one, because my one's always weird. But at least mine wasn't made up like Grace's one was. Anyway.
You know what?
You know, I did notice that you changed the pronunciation of that once other people started pronouncing it differently. Anyway.
I did not.
You did. Go back and watch the VOD. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Quick recap. I know it's been a while, but I don't want to do a lengthy recap tonight. If you want to catch up, you can go ahead and you can watch the older episodes. All you need to know right now is that the 5 of you at the time were tasked by a man who called himself Arigal to clear a house that he inherited of its apparent haunting. And that's exactly what you're in the middle of doing right now. You've torn through the house, you've fought some haunted shit, and you find yourself in a children's bedroom in the attic that happened to be locked from the outside. Inside this room, you encountered the ghosts of a pair of children, Roosevelda and Thornbolt Durst, a young girl and a young boy. And I quote, "If you want to help them, you need to go to the basement." But that's not where we start tonight's episode. Because as we open up to a different scene. A snarling wolf bares its fangs, firelight drenching its gaping maw in threatening shadows. As we back away, we see its lifeless eyes and recognize that this beast is one of the taxidermied wolves that Fujin destroyed. Now,
Of course it is.
hole. I imagine we pan across and we can see this room is occupied by 4 figures. A man sits before the fire. His back is turned to us. He's sipping maybe port from a crystal goblet. A young boy sits on the floor before the window, playing with a doll. And the mother and daughter sit at a table crocheting. It's evening, obviously, and not a word is being said. The only sounds we hear is that of the crackling fire. All of a sudden, the silence is pierced by the sounds of an approaching horse, and a loud whinny signals the arrival of an unexpected guest. Gustav Durst turns in his chair, torn from his brooding, locking eyes with Elizabeth, whose surprised expression mirrors his own. Gustav rises and crosses the room, pulling aside the curtain and peering through the window. He turns back to his wife, his voice barely able to control his excitement. "He's here," he says. "Our time has finally come." Elizabeth, shocked, raises her hand to her lips as Gustav's gaze falls upon Rose and Thorn. "Take them to their room. We can't risk them messing things up." The next couple of scenes play out from the perspective of the children as Elizabeth hurries them from the room, up the stairs, past the suit of armor and into the attic, and without another word, she closes the door behind her. A moment passes, and we can hear the sound of a padlock snapping into place from the other side of the door. Roosevelt looks to Thornbolt and holds a finger to her lips before crossing into the center of the room and placing her ear against the floorboards, and she listens. We hear the muffled sounds of voices back and forth, back and forth. The voices begin to rise, and we hear a man's voice yelling out, "But you were the one who was promised to us by the priests of Osiris. How could you be..." The yelling is cut short by the sounds of a skirmish. Something shatters, and we hear the sound of a woman screaming. A thud, and then silence. We zoom in towards the single lit candle burning in the corner of the room. And as we linger, it slowly burns, melting down, down, down into a stub, before finally the room is draped in darkness. Time passes, and we pick back up where we left off, with the 5 of you in this room, with the ghosts of Rosavelda and Thornbolt Durst. We finished the last episode with you guys talking to them. There's a couple of you who are a few hit points down. Some of you are suffering from a point of exhaustion. No one's taken too much damage just yet. But I don't know. You tell me, what do you guys want to do?
All right. So, I believe at the end of last session, the children said, just to clue everyone back in, you're not the first, others have come and promised to help and they never came back. The men in the black chariot arrived, which is a scene that we just heard. Mum locked us in here so we wouldn't interrupt. And you said you'd help us. If you want to help us, the answer's in the basement. And they just said that when we ended the session. So from there, the children are still in front of us?
I imagine like a little bit of time passes. You guys have some time to sort of gather yourselves and talk a little bit about what you want to do. And if you stay in the room, then, you know, Rose and Thorn, for short, they start doing mundane things. Maybe Rose sits down at the dollhouse that's in the room, and she starts, you know, playing with dolls, and Thorn just sort of sits in the corner and broods.
That's all right. The reason I was asking is if they're still in the room, we also ended the session with Fujin finally breaking through that wall a bit and a streak of light coming in.
That is correct. So at the moment, you've got that green light from Thana's dancing lights in the room, but there's also just like a sliver of light just piercing through the masonry, sort of like just like a very thin line. And imagine if we're looking at it as well, you can see the motes of dust from what you guys have disturbed from being in the room, sort of passing through that little beam of light.
So, Rosabella, you said that it's in the basement, and I think back to the first level where there wasn't a basement, and I'm gonna have a look through the house, like the doll house. That's an exact model.
Yep.
Of the house, and find the way down to the dungeon.
Yeah, man, and like this is something that you've already sort of come across as well. When you opened up the secret room that was in the library, you heard like a grinding sound, and there was like a rush of air. And when you came up into the attic where you fought the spectre earlier on, you actually did notice that there was like one of the brick walls had like cracked slightly open, and what appeared to be like a foundational pillar of the building, it turns out it was actually hollow on the inside, and you saw like the beginning of a stairway that led down, but that was all the way up in the attic. And if you think about that and you look at the dollhouse, you sort of, maybe you get down on your haunches, you know, you've got heavy armor on, so you know you can hear that as you get down. And Rosavelda looks at you and she's like, yes, Mama and Papa had a basement built in the house before Thorn was born. And she brushes aside some of the cobwebs that are still on the dollhouse, and she points towards that foundational pillar from the bottom floor, from the ground floor, all the way to the top. I don't know why, but they hid the door here. And she points towards the attic, to that room that's all that furniture sort of covered in these heavy drapes.
Alright, well, I'll have a good look at the room, and I'll have a look. Can I open up to the dungeon? Does the house sort of fall apart so we can see the dungeon, or is it not in there?
No, it's not included in there. If you sort of, you know, tilt it's because it's quite a big dollhouse as well. It's like a rich person dollhouse. You sort of tilt it back. There's nothing underneath, but you can actually see, and strange that they would include this in the dollhouse, but you can actually see that that secret door. And yeah, like you can see pretty much the layout of the whole house. So much so that if you do any checks to find secret doors or anything from now on in this house, that you'll actually get a bonus to looking for secret doors. But you're pretty sure you've found most of the stuff that's here. So,
Oi.
Yeah.
Fujin. You alright?
No.
You want to do something about it?
Yes.
I point at the dollhouse, at the big thing. Supposedly the answer's down there. And Tane's going to look at the group and go, Well, we came to here to clear at the house. We might as well help the kids.
Yes,
What
I
do you
think
suppose
that
is
would
going to
be
be down there?
best.
Look how keen you two are.
This changes things, though.
Yeah?
I don't want to. Remove the haunting from this house.
I would agree. I think that. Could we perhaps not have this conversation in front of tiny ears? She says, gesturing to the kids.
You're not going to leave us, are you?
Oh, no, nonsense. We'll be just outside.
Don't go anywhere. Just look. I know you want to help, and we appreciate it, but we've been alone here in the darkness for so long. I'm sure we can do that another time. Just stay. Just stay. Please. And Thornbolt sort of... He had his, head down in his arms, and he sort of looks up as well. Yeah, stay. Stay and play with us.
What? Listen, we're gonna go have a look at this so-called basement. And he looks at the bones on the floor. And I think you should come along with us.
Oh, yes. Yes, we
And
can't leave the
he's
room,
gonna-
but if we go with you, we could come.
I'm gonna get a sack, a very proper sack, and throw the bones in.
What does a proper sack look like?
Yeah,
Well, it's
describe
like, think of like a sack, and then fill it with bones in a very proper way. Like, let's just say it's a Hessian sack, but I fold the edges neatly as I put the bones in there before I pull it tight.
I'm just going to quickly check your
There's some-
check your character sheet, make sure you have a proper sack in your inventory. I'm not seeing a proper sack in your inventory.
Well, I gotta make one.
Yeah, we're going to spend 48 hours here making a Hessian bag.
Sounds like fun.
Okay. Let's really
some,
roleplay this out.
Golden embroidery to make it proper.
No, I want to know. I want to know how you make this bag. What are you making it out of? Are we talking like what kind
I'm
of
actually
stitch?
looking for where the hell is?
Anyway, while it's having Thana,
Yes.
you're always talking about passing on, because that's something that can still happen.
These children, like you, are you asking if we can help them pass on?
Yes. Are they stuck like
Well-
this, or if we do something to whatever's in the basement, is there a chance? There's a lot of
Well,
hesitation in Fujin at the moment to move it anywhere, like not a movement of muscle, as everyone's been like, I guess, edging towards the door. Fujin hasn't moved a muscle at the moment in his mind, unless there's a way to help them. He doesn't want to leave the room.
There's that's a bit of a hard question to answer, really. It's it depends a little bit on them. It depends on what we do. It's not as if there's a switch we can flip. But staying here, when spirits stay in the mortal coil, it tends to corrupt them, or at least that's what I've read. I think passing on is normally the best option, but I'm a little bit confused. I don't think that I want them to pass on. They didn't really have a chance to live. And she sort of looks at everyone really confused. She's not entirely sure how to answer this question.
This isn't a life for them, I know that much.
When Mama used to take us to the service at the Church of the Morning Lords. The priest used to sometimes tell sermons of those who passed on. He said that in order for their spirits to be laid at rest, she looks very confused, almost like she's struggling to understand that she is dead. Like there's two different consciousness sort of struggling against each other. The one that knows that they're past and the one that refuses to accept it. He said in order for those our loved ones to pass on into the glory of the Morning Lords, golden rays, they must be put to rest, laid to rest in the proper place. My papa, he said that our ancestors were here beneath our feet. Maybe if you lay us to... what was I saying? Oh, would you like to drink some tea with me?
Right.
And she makes her way over and like sits down at a little table and she starts mimicking like pouring tea. Can I get Thana, would you like to roll a religion check for me?
I would love nothing more than to roll a religion check. Let's see if I can get it to work, actually. My app's just being a little bit funky. While my app's loading, I'll roleplay a little. So Thana sort of sits down at the table, and she sips the tea. If you, let's say we could help you pass on, would that be something you want?
She takes like a little teapot, sort of holds onto the lid and pretends to pour some tea into a cup, and she puts it back down. It's all very proper, as if she's been rehearsing this like time and time and time and time again. And she takes the teacup, very proper, pinky out, as Mod would know, and she sips and she holds it in her hands, in the palm of her hand, and she looks for a long time and she says, I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that those that said they would help, they would go to the basement and then they would never return.
Fujin's going to interrupt and wave his hand, stand up, heading out towards the staircase, at least heading to the doorway to leave the bedroom. They don't know what they want. They're children. They didn't even know what they wanted then.
No.
We need to make these choices for them.
Don't leave. Don't leave.
Well,
Straight for the door.
Yeah, I've actually changed the name of my robe in my kit to a proper sack.
proper.
I mean, are we doing phrasing still? Like, I feel like we've brought it up a few times.
Well, it's a proper hairy sack. And yeah, I put.
Oh my god, shut up.
in them, and then
I rolled a 6, by the way.
sling it over my shoulder and follow Fujin.
With a 6, yeah, you don't know shit. Maybe if you throw the bones
Yeah,
out the window.
Advantage.
Uh,
Can I have advantage?
no.
Because this is what I'm good at.
No, if it was what you were good at, you would have a higher bonus to that roll. That's what being good at it means. Maybe
Fair
if
enough.
someone would like to assist you with it, maybe I don't know, Tane, being a paladin, might have some input about this.
I've got the bones. We're taking them.
Yeah,
to
help the
proper
dum
place.
dum.
All right,
In the
roll
proper sack.
roll a
The place
DC
is
10
sack.
religion check for me. If you hit it, then you can have another roll there, Thana.
Okay.
That was directed at me, correct?
Yeah, so Tane, if you can roll a DC 10
Right.
religion.
Fujin's just storming out as well.
I gotcha.
I don't care what the kids are saying. They're too young to know what they want.
Just waiting for
There you
that
go.
roll
Go,
to
baby.
come through. What do you got there? 15. Okay, and Thana, you have rolled a 21. All right, so maybe you guys have a little bit of back and forth
Yes.
about what you have each respectively learnt, and Tane, you're able to provoke some memory from Thana, let's say, and you start to realize that what she's saying is like pretty much correct. Like, a spirit who has passed away doesn't know that it's dead. Quite often needs to be laid to rest with the proper funerary rites in order to be at peace with their own passing. Now, you know, she has mentioned that there's a possibility that she could be laid to rest, you know, that they have a family tomb down there in the basement, so that might be something that you could do. You might need to give them the proper funerary rites and lay them to rest within their respective resting places.
Yeah. Well, we're looking for the proper place.
Thana's gonna chase after Fujin and just sort of stop him. And is like, okay, let's just calm down. They may be children, but we can't send them off. Like, they've hardly had a life.
I'm not sending them anywhere. I'm going down there. You said there's a possibility. I'm gonna find answers. We're not going to get answers from them. They didn't even know what was happening to them at that time. They had no choice.
Yeah, but we don't. I don't even know what's there after. We could be sending them to nothing.
Right.
better than this room.
They said to me that the answer's downstairs. And I think I just overheard them saying, "Avenge me, Thana. Avenge me." Downstairs.
Oh, I hate you. This is not a joke.
Goddamn, Fritz, calm down. We're going. Fritz is very angry.
Yes.
Bart's probably gonna. Sorry, not Bart. Fujin. Sorry, it's my other character. Fujin is going to call out, probably, wanting to sort of head down there, and getting a bit frustrated is going to push around the dude that is just an accountant. Oi, money maker. We're going down. Come with me.
I thought he was going to call him Moneybit for a second.
I guess that's okay.
And when he gets closer, yeah, I'm going to grab him by the collar and just start heading towards the attic and down the stairs.
And as they leave, you start to see panic set in Roosevelta and Thornbolt. Thornbolt gets to his feet and he's like, they're not going to leave us here, are they? I don't want to be left alone in the darkness again. And she's like, shh. They're not going to leave us, Thorn. They're not going to leave. You're not going to leave us alone here, are you? Going to take us with you? Are you going to take us with you? Please, don't leave us here again in the darkness.
Thana's kind of standing in the middle of the hallway, sort of panning her head back and forth to Fujin and the others storming down the staircase, and the children just panicking. And she just sort of turns to the kids and she's like, "We will be back.
No.
I promise.
No.
We're not leaving."
No. I won't let you leave. I won't let you leave without us. And she gets up and runs across the room at you. She launches off her feet and glides 5 feet through the air and slams into your chest. Thornbolt does the same thing to you, Tane, since you're one of the few people still remaining in the room. I need both of you to roll a charisma saving throw.
Oh, fuck. This is gonna hurt.
Beep, ba, 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 da, boom. Beep, ba, 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 da, boom. Is that rolling?
Oh, I'm okay. I got a 17. I'm
I
okay.
got a 12.
Tane got a 12.
I only got a 12.
You see Thornbolt, like, gets up, watches what Roosevelt is doing. He looks around left to right, panic in his eyes, and he just runs and charges towards you, Tane, slams into your chest. I imagine there's like an ectoplasmic energy discharge as he actually flies into your chest, and you like, you shock backwards for a second, and Thornbolt is just gone. You, Thana, you feel this essence start to infuse your body. Your mind starts to feel another presence within it, but you fight it off, and Roosevelta appears standing in front of you, tears streaming down her eyes. She falls down to her knees. She's like, no, please don't leave me. Please don't leave me here. Tane, let's talk about what happens to you. You are technically now under the effect of what is Christian's most feared, I want to say feared, horror creature. You are possessed by the spirit of Thornbolt. You have resisted it, Thana. But Tane, you were not so lucky. So let me just bring up a couple of things for us, and we'll talk about what actually happens. How do you guys react to that?
Thana sort of like stumbles back and like looks like really shell shocked about what just happened, and like looks at the child crying on the floor, and then sort of calls out down the hallway like to Fujin and Bill, guys, we have a problem.
And Tane, you have a new character trait. You are now scared of everything, including your own shadow, and you weep with despair when things don't go your way.
Okay.
So keep that in mind.
That's going to be really helpful.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want from our paladin.
Yeah, I'll do it.
But unfortunately, Roosevelta was unable to possess you, Thana, which means you have to now decide what you want to do. Are you going to leave her here, or you get the feeling that she can't actually leave the room without possessing one of you?
She sort of looks at her sobbing. Based off of what happened, would there be some sort of... This is such a fucking far-fetched, and I'm so sorry. This is such a hear me out moment.
I'm used to it.
Is there a way that if it was... if it was consensual, that since it's forced on Tane, it's like 100%, but is there a way it could be like 50-50 if the person allowed the possession?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you can allow the possession. She can go with you if you choose to do that. I don't need you to roll anything for that. Your roll was high enough earlier with the 21. Yeah, you can allow this to happen, but it will be like a bonding of personalities. So you might have a personality change of your own, but you're not even, aware that Tane is going through that at the moment, unless he says something.
Okay. But mechanically, I would still be able to sort of cast and all that. Well, I guess I wouldn't know that, would I?
Yeah.
Oh, this is hard.
Yeah, so you don't get the feeling... I mean, you're looking towards Tane as well. Like, how does Tane react to this happening?
Oh, you want me to role play as the thing? Okay.
Yeah. No. You're still yourself, but you have a new character trait. It's like a blending of this child's personality with yours. So you're still you. You're still in charge. You're at the wheel here, but you are now like you just feel like this.
These kids are.
I misunderstood. When you said I was possessed, I thought I'd lost control, so I was letting you do it. Okay.
The way he was explaining it, the kids are debuffs.
Okay. All right, guys. I've decided probably not good to go to the basement. Maybe we just wait here.
By the way,
I think that's actually really sound advice.
That's a good idea.
There is no way that Bill is there. Fujin did not stop and is still dragging you down.
I heard you, Bill. Come back. We'll guard this room.
Hearing this, I'm coming, right? I'm coming.
Yeah, we'll protect children and stuff. Like, come here.
Absolutely not. We have to go with them. Are you insane?
Midway down the staircase, pull out a fucking torch, and still going down.
All right. So
no, we're staying right here.
let's we're splitting the party. It sounds like. So let's take it to the map, shall we?
Take it to the map.
Who is
Take it to the map.
watching this on Twitch?
I think we need to decide what our good friend Fritz is doing.
Yeah.
I think Fritz would be going with Fujin since they're going to the danger area.
Fritz.
Yeah.
I would say Fritz.
It's following the story of Fritz following me into a danger area. So I think that was said in debriefing Strahd that she does go.
Yes, but I think at the same time Fritz is a bit torn because while she knows that Fujin can take care of himself, these kids, she does not want to leave them on their own. So he is like staying behind and might even suggest, I can't fathom leaving these kids here on their own. We should take them with us if we're going to go, and we should hurry before Fujin gets too far ahead.
Are you inane? I'm not going to let... they're children, but they're... Oh, I don't want to use the D word. Okay, this is a lot for me.
Look,
This is a lot. Existentially, I'm having trouble comprehending this.
I understand that you have some kind of theological reason for not wanting to go along with this, but while you might see abominations, I see a child that's in need of help. And I can't in good conscience leave them here on their own.
Abomination is a strong word. I would just say, oh, you know what? Fuck it. Okay. I'm just gonna do it. It's okay. She can possess it.
And Rose gets to her feet slowly and reaches towards you, and her hand disappears into your chest, and then her body starts to dematerialize in these wisps of grey-blue smoke which swirls around and down up her arm and into you, infusing you with her spirit. And you feel like you're not the only one in that mind anymore, as you get a new character trait. Although I'm not sure if it's a new character trait or just a reinforcement of one that you already have. It is, I like being in charge and get angry when other people tell me what to do. So nothing really changes.
Ouch. Fair enough.
Tane's gonna go, oh, what do I have this with me again? And he opens the robe and sees the skull and goes, ah, skeleton! Just throws it out the door.
Oh my god, you're incompetent. Okay, she's just gonna grab Tane by the collar and do a Fujin and start dragging her down the stairs.
Alright. Cutting back to Fujin and Bill, enough time has passed now for you guys to have reached the stairs while they're debating this. So let's go ahead and tell you what you see As you approach, you see a narrow flight of steep wooden stairs that spiral down into the Stygian darkness below. Cobwebs choke the passageway. Fujin, you said you were lighting a torch?
I don't know, I'm shouting at Bill to light it as I head down the stairs.
Okay, so you'll
And he will take one from his inventory and light it.
light it real quick. So I imagine you might even be able to use the torch to burn through some of the cobwebs, or Fujin, if you're in front, you're just like pushing through it like Indiana Jones. And
Probably slashing at them with the scimitar, but heading down the stairs, yeah, I don't care if they're on me.
there happens to be a guy like coming up the stairs, and you just cut him in two. He's like, "Oh no, I was here to help you." You descend down into the passageway. You have to turn like slightly sideways just to fit through. The stairs descend 50 feet, passing beyond the lower levels of the house, continuing down below ground level. You can feel the temperature drop by a couple of degrees as you enter the subterranean levels deep below the house. Eventually, the stairs end in a narrow landing. The stone walls give way to packed dirt and layered slate. The stench of stale air assaults your nostrils. A centipede crawls from out of a gap between two layers of slate, only to disappear into another deeper hole. Tiny rivulets of water trickle down the walls of this 5-foot wide corridor that splinters into a T intersection. I'll take you guys to that map. There. Put you on the map as well. So, just a moment. We'll grab... There's so many characters now in this campaign. Bill. And we'll grab... Where are you, Fujin? Where are you?
If it makes it easy, I can't access that map at the moment, so
Okay.
Yeah.
I will try my best to describe everything that's going on to you. We'll do a preset.
I'll try my hardest.
Torch. There you go. Can you guys see that 5-foot wide corridor now?
Yep.
All right.
What little is there? Yes.
What little is there, exactly.
scary.
You step down into this like 5-foot wide corridor. Like I said, it's colder down here. Packed dirt and slate walls. That little corridor that you step down into, it only goes for about 5 feet, and then it splits off into a T intersection in front of you. One heading north and the other one heading south. You guys are down at the bottom of the stairs. You've got a little bit of time here before the rest of your companions make it to you. There we go.
I'm gonna stop Bill very abruptly. Okay, listen. We're hunting whatever is down here. Take a moment. I'm gonna take a knee, and with hopefully Bill cluing on, I'm gonna do a perception check to try to hear if there's anything left or right to give us my first sort of idea of where to hunt.
Yeah, okay. Alright. Yeah, roll a perception check for me.
Now you have Does Bill have proficiency in perception?
He does.
Okay, perfect. I'll roll with advantage. Okay, lucky. That is a 16.
A 16 on that one. Look, you reach the bottom of the stairs. You have a look around in the dirt in front of you. You can see there are some footsteps, old, some going towards the north, some going towards the south. You can see towards the north, there is another corridor just 5 feet towards the north that heads to the east. You can't see too much beyond that, but you do hear the very faint sound of like deep voices echoing throughout the hallways here. And you listen, trying to discern which way it's coming from. You can't get a direction, whether it's coming from north or south, you don't know, but you can start to hear there's like it's like tickling something in the back of your mind, like something that you can't quite remember. It's got a certain cadence to it. It almost sounds like a chant. You can't make out the words or which way it's coming from.
Okay. I'm going to grab out some from my tinderbox, charcoal. And I've got high wisdom, I've just got bad intelligence. So using a bit of like my hunting skills, I'm going to nod towards Bill to sort of head in this direction with a low grunt, a finger up to my lips for being silent, and then one hand on the scimitar, the other hand is going to hold the charcoal, and then just draw on the wall to my left. And I'm going to go towards the left, 5, 10, with Bill falling behind, so I have vision.
Yeah. I will follow you with knife, torch in one hand, knife in the other.
Yeah, so
25.
you make your way out to the corridor. You take a left. As I said, about 5 feet towards the north, you see it branches off towards the east. Can't see much beyond that. It goes another 5 feet north, and it turns sharply towards the west. Once the torchlight filters into that room, you can see it's about 15-foot deep room. There appears to be a wooden table at the center of the room, and as you take your first steps into the room with Bill behind you, you can see that torchlight casting long, eerie shadows on the ground. I imagine you're pretty twitchy at this point. Everything seems to be threatening. Every dance of the torchlight, every flicker makes it appear as though something is about to jump out and attack you, but you don't see anything of note apart from some old withering playing cards which have almost completely rotten away and formed into part of the table itself. Towards the south, you get a strong musty smell, and you can see there's an alcove towards the south that appears to contain some old moldy straw with a sort of blanket haphazardly cast over the top of it. And as you're doing that, I imagine maybe the rest of you guys might be coming down the stairs as well. Let's talk about party order. Thana or Tane in the lead?
No.
I think I said... What?
Terrified of my own shadow doesn't mean walk into dungeon first.
Mm-hmm.
This is true. I'd say Thana would literally probably have, much like Fujin was doing to Bill, probably have Tane by his ear, yanking him down the staircase, so Thana would be first. And then Bill, and then probably Fritz up the back to protect Squishy, character that's not currently being played.
Well, Bill is already down there with Fujin, so we'll put Thana in the lead. And we'll just move you into the corridor so I can put the rest of the people.
For clarification, I did pick up the bones again.
Tane behind, or even Fritz will pick up the bones if you don't want to carry them. And maybe
I'd much prefer that. I don't want to touch it.
As you're like descending the stairs, Fritz is like, "What is going on with you?"
Nothing. I'm just being safe, and I've got like the shield up in front of my face.
I can't see anything. Thana, what can you see at the bottom of the stairs?
A whole lot of nothing, and I must say it was...
Quiet! We don't want to give away our positions.
Yes, well, if you yell, that's not going to make us any less subtle.
Why are you always being so mean?
You reach the bottom of the stairs and enter into that hallway as well. Again, there's a corridor running north and south. It's 5 feet wide. You can see torchlight coming from the north, and you can hear that rhythmic chanting, but you can't discern where it's coming from. Let's go back to Fujin and Bill. As they're descending the stairs, what do you want to do?
Look, if they're just there, Bill, go and grab them. Bring them this way. We're continuing on.
We'd be fine in the dark.
I'll wait here for a moment.
Very well. Until
Heading back down
this
to
way.
that corner, Thana, you see that torchlight getting brighter and brighter, coming from the corridor to the north, and then all of a sudden, Bill pops his head around the corner. What does he say?
Oh no, we're over here.
Charging ahead without me. Ridiculous.
Be quiet. We don't know what's down here.
You be quiet. And she just sort of walks past him, dragging Tane.
Everyone be quiet.
Thank you, Tane. That's what I've been trying to say.
Fujin will, just with the sort of back of Bill's light, turn all the playing cards on the table onto their backside.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you reach down, you try and pick up one of the cards, and it just crumbles in your hand.
Okay.
They're pretty much black. You can barely even discern what's on them anymore.
In that case, I'd like to tip over quietly every one of the gauntlets. I want to make a change that I can try to monitor when I come back.
You push. There's a pewter goblet lying on the table. It's tipped over. There's a heavy wood stain across the top, and you just push it off the table, and it clatters down to the stone floor.
No.
Loudly.
I said,
And you make all the noise.
I said I'm gently putting them all on their side.
You throw it across the room, and it hits one of the pillars, and the ceiling collapses
Boing.
loudly. No, you put it down on the floor, maybe just standing upright. You can see the torchlight reflecting off this pewter goblet now, just on the floor, it's sort of sitting there. And if Bill, you move further into the room, you can see there are 4 little alcoves. They each contain this rotten straw. It stinks. It's moldy. It's musky. There's that table, of course, in the north. Thana, I'm going to go ahead and move you along. I'll move Tane and Fritz and Bright Eyes along with you guys as well. Yeah, alright, so what now?
Fujin's gonna, as Bill makes his way back to him, nod to follow again, and keep up this maze pattern of following the wall on his left, continuing to draw with the chalk, getting to here and getting ready to turn down this hallway.
Yeah, okay, so you reach that spot there, you can see
one of his beds.
that's another just alcove. There is what was once a straw-filled mattress. It's sort of the straw has spilled out as the mattress has rotted away with the dampness of the air. And as you step into that spot that you're in now, you can see there's something moving inside the mattress, the rotted remains of the mattress. It's move it around a little bit.
I'm going to stomp my foot, incredibly aggressive, almost like a strike, and try to kick whatever small thing is in there. Squish it, I guess.
Yeah. You stomp down and you hear a squeal, and you feel a crunching beneath your foot. You lift your foot back up, you can see a red stain start to spread throughout what remains of this mattress that's rotting on the ground.
Did you just kill a rat?
I think he killed a mattress. It's an animate object. He likes to do that.
Yeah, this is exactly why I should be in charge.
Well, I think we got our answers. We killed the rat. Time to go. Let's go, people.
Fujin is just going to keep silently. I guess I'd go through all the alcoves, but I'm going to chalk them all until I get to, I guess, here where the alcoves stop, and it's still following left. I'd now be going along this wall, but it's just at this point sort of in like the zone, I guess, the best way to put it.
Anyone else?
Tane is going to light a torch, and then when all the shadows appear, he's going to put the torch out.
Okay.
And then when it gets dark, he lights the torch again.
He's just doing that in the corner over and over.
Yeah, and he's trying to decide. Hang on, I'm just going to roll. Torch goes on. Torch stays on after the third attempt.
All right, so I've chucked that on your token there, so you have torchlight available to you as well.
And technically, it's a lamp I have.
Oh, it's a lamp? Okay, let's see if we can change that to a lamp.
A 15 foot of light.
Reset lamp. Yeah, so 15 foot of dim and 30 of 15 of bright and 30 of dim.
Yep. Yeah, 15 of light and an additional 30 of dim.
Yes.
So 45.
Okay. I'll stop here for you, DM, but yeah, continue down the hallway, marking charcoal all of the beds. Any more movement like that, I'll just squish. Fujin's on just, in the zone kill mode at the moment. Anything down here is harming those children. And the squabbling of his companions is just nonsensical at this point.
Yeah, so...
Bill hasn't got the confidence to not be by his side either yet.
There is a corridor that splits off from the one that you just left. It goes 10 feet towards the west, then turns sharply left, south. There's a short flight of stairs built into the hard-packed dirt floor. And you step down into a much wider square chamber. It is about 20 feet across. So 20 feet square. In the center of the room, you see there is a 4-foot diameter well shaft, and there with a 3-foot high stone lip descending down into the ground of the dungeon. Over the top of it, you can see there's a wooden bucket that's hanging from a rope and pulley mechanism that's bolted to the crossbeams above the well. With that light just on the peripheral of that light that you're getting from Bill, you notice that there are more of these alcoves similar to the ones that you saw in the room that you just left, but there are 5 of them. There are 2 to the north, 1 to the west, 2 to the south, and 1 in the eastern wall. Did I get that right? No. So 2 north, 2 south, and 1 on the west.
I will wait a second, having reached a larger room. I'll take another step to the side so that Bill can do the same, but just make some room for the rest of the party, assuming that they're still following behind Bill.
Thana, do you follow? Is Thana here right now?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, sorry. I got really distracted. I don't know why I thought you said Tane. Yeah, Thana
now it's confusing the players.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Thana just sort of grumbles, like, because Fujin is still sort of tracking ahead, and being very childish, more childish than usual. She still thinks that he's team leader. And she's sort of like, oh, I'm in charge, I'm way better, and just sort of just like grumbling under her breath, just like, Fujin sucks, Fujin's just a poopy butthead, and just sort of like stomping her foot childishly as she sort of continues right behind him, her arms folded.
Fritz encourages you, Tane, to follow. She's like, I don't think something wrong with her as well. Don't let her get too far ahead.
Where'd you go?
I thought that was your your character's reaction.
It is. It is. Where'd you go?
Alright. Entering into the room, you see the same thing as described before.
Yeah, look, I'll head up to the well, and ask Bill to sort of can you shine a torch over? Do you see anything?
And I would shine my torch over to see if I see anything.
And I imagine
Bill, you should shine your torch over to see if you see anything, because that's the instruction that I give you because I'm in charge.
Okay, thanks, Thana.
You're welcome.
And after he'd pulled himself back from leaning over to shine the torch over, he leant back to speak to Thana. He leans back over to shine the torch over.
imagine we see this shot from down the bottom of the well. We see the approaching firelight, just like a circle of light, and we see Bill's head peek over the top, and you look down. It descends 30 feet down below. It has like a bricked wall along the outside, and it sort of ends in like this murky blackness 30 feet down. You don't see anything else at this point.
Is there a rope, because it's a well, right? Is there a rope that could be attached to a bucket?
Yeah, so there's like a bucket hanging over the top, almost like head height, that's connected to the rafters to a rope and pulley mechanism above you.
Give it like a quarter turn, just enough to see if it's going to make noise or not. Not enough to see if it really properly works or anything.
Yep. Yeah, okay. You start to turn it. It has like a rope that's sort of wound around one of the pillars by you. You sort of unwind it a little bit, and you start to let some of the weight off, and you start to realize that the pulley mechanism is completely jammed, and basically the rope is just sliding along the pulley mechanism, and it rocks back and forth on rusty iron sort of hook. You stop it before it makes any sound. You realize that you probably can't lower this thing down without making quite a bit of racket, because it's not going to go up and down smoothly.
I don't know what's down there, but I think we'd let anything around here know if we tried to find out. So I think we should move on.
If we don't find what we need, we can come back to this later.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I think.
And I'll head back north after giving a side eye to Thana, what the hell. Continue the chalk this entire room, stop the chest, and just sort of, actually, there was one previously trapped. I will continue chalking, using the light being provided from Tane's torch. And Bill, do you mind just checking that if there's any sort of laces or traps? I want to see who is staying here. But that box had poison needles in it in the library, didn't it?
Yes, Tane sorted that out for us. He found that skeleton and whatnot, but I can give it a bit of a look and see if there's any mechanisms or whatnot.
Yeah, okay, roll that investigation for me. Have a look at this chest. You can see it is a cheaply made, iron-bound chest, like a footlocker type of thing.
As I'm walking out, I will turn to Fritz. Are you okay too? Fritz, is there anything
sorry.
wrong with you?
I mean, there's lots of things wrong with me. I'm exhausted. I'm hurt. I feel like I would have done... Some rest would do me well. But if we're going to insist on continuing along, I guess I can keep moving. Why?
What's up with these two? Why they think that sounds normal? You complaining about wanting to rest is something I've had to listen to for a bit now.
Just quickly, while they're having this conversation in front of me, I'm fully aware that I've got a ghost inside me, correct?
Yes.
Like, it's not hidden from me or anything like that?
No.
Okay,
No, you...
okay, cool.
Maybe even sometimes you hear Thornbolt's voice in your head, and he's like, "We shouldn't be down here. We shouldn't have come down here. There's a monster down here."
You wanna know what's wrong with me? I've got a goddamn kid ghost inside me, and he's telling every fiber of my being to run the fuck out of this dungeon.
"I'm not a ghost," he says in your mind. "I'm alive."
Quiet, you.
You want to know what's wrong? Do you seriously want to know? Because I would be happy to say. Fujin thinks that he is team captain, and he is not team captain. I am team captain. I have always been team captain.
And
Why we should have left them.
you hear a voice in your head, Thana, and it's like, "You can't trust them, you know? They're just children. Look at the way they just fumble about. I trust you, though.
I know.
You know what's happening."
I trust you. No, I know. I'm the most competent person in this party.
Thana. Hello.
What do you want?
What do you think we should do?
Well, you want to know what I think we should do? Well, I think I should be in charge, personally. But beyond that, well, I think we should go down the well. She sort of looks down the well.
Yeah. Tane's going to hold the torch so we can see 45 feet down the well.
45 feet down the well?
Light source.
30 feet down. Ends in, like, inky black water, is it? It's hard to tell. It's so still down there. Maybe water, maybe mud. You're unsure, but it just ends in, like, inky blackness. Bill, you're 100% sure this thing isn't trapped. But it is locked. There is a rusty iron padlock on it.
I'm gonna cock my head and hoping for a bit of reverse psychology. Very wise of you. I thought the same thing.
Now, see, this is exactly why I should be in charge. And then she sort of, like, Glinda flips her hair, and, like, snaps her fingers, and sends a dancing light down the well.
And
just to, like, really touch whatever, like, if it's water, the theory is that the light will go into the water. I don't know. If it's mud, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe yeah. Anyway.
There's a dancing light for you. Dancing light again.
Just so we're clear, I'm not going down the well.
We see that.
Just so we're clear, I will throw you in there if I have to.
We see that same shot that we saw from before, like looking up the shaft of the well. We can hear you guys arguing. The voices just echoing down the well as this green light comes over the top of it and begins to descend. And we'll be back right after this break. Hey, stick with us. 10 minutes. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
And Dion, just to make you aware,
yes.
When that aggression happened, Tane has run off to the west.
Okay. We'll see what happens with that when we come right back. All right. And we're back. We're just having a little bit of a discussion about our literary triumphs. I hope everyone enjoyed Tentacle Story Time. I'm not sure if I've aired that one before, but I didn't have time to record a new one. So if it was a repeat, I apologize about that. But hopefully everyone enjoyed that. We're back with Beckoned Blackest. You still with us, Christian? Look like you're struggling.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Let's just dive straight back into it, shall we? Where we left off with that dancing lights just sort of hovering over the edge of this well that's situated in the upper dungeon of this house. 30 feet straight down. It floats down there, and as it starts to reach the bottom, you can tell, like, it just goes down into this, like, muck, and there are, like, these blackened roots entangled throughout the mud. Whatever water was down there has just turned to mud, but you don't see much of anything else. Unless you want to do a perception check. I mean, you can if you want to, but it's up to you.
Yeah, I'll do a perception check. Why not?
All right, and because each one of the dancing lights has to stay within, I think, 15 feet of each other, so you sort of got to, Christmas light dangle them down there. So you've got, I think, it's only dim light, but you've got the torch light, you've got the lantern light from Tane as well. So amongst all of it, it just sort of makes bright light down there. So just a regular perception check.
Cool. Let me have a look. See. Perception check. That is a 16, and I'll add that Thana is feeling like really happy that Fujin has just kind of let her take control of the party. She's feeling very sly.
Finally, they're starting to see reason, you hear in your voice. With the 16, you don't see anything. You can see just that sort of brick stonework descend down into, like, the mud below. You can see the tangled mess of roots and mud at the bottom of the well, but not much more than that. Tane, you're running off and you head towards the west. It goes on for another 10-15 feet and empties into a very similar alcove as the one that Bill is currently in. Towards the north, you see there is a rotten mattress, a bit better, like this actually got like a frame. Maybe one of the legs has sort of given way and it's on a bit of an angle, but it's an actual bed with a mattress, and there is a footlocker in this one as well. You can see it's a very poorly made, cheaply made footlocker, dark wood, iron banded, and there's a padlock on this one also.
I guess I'll kick the padlock off.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to make an unarmed attack against the padlock, I guess?
Oh, we also had Bill's investigation.
Yes. So, Bill, you don't notice anything untowards with whatever it was that you rolled. It was fairly low, I think. Just,
yeah, it was an 8.
Yeah, it's padlock, and that's really about all that you that you get from that. There's nothing untowards as far as you can tell.
That'll be a dirty 20.
A dirty 20 to hit that one. Let me try. I should have brought this up earlier, knowing your penchant for attacking random things. Does anyone know the rules for attacking an inanimate object?
Yeah, so they have an AC first. It probably doesn't have many hit points, but metal does have an AC of like 17. What was it to hit?
It was a 20, so...
20, but like, I was thinking it's on like a rotten wooden box, so the whole lock thing might...
Yeah, look, roll some damage. I'm going to give it hardness here.
You just get 3 damage.
Oh, you just get 3. That's not going to be enough if you're just making an unarmed attack against it. Like, you just, boom, you kick it. It's still fairly sturdy.
Alright. How many hit points does, like, after that 3 points of damage, how many hit points does it look like this rotten wood
It's up to you, Sven, but I've just sent you the D&D source that I use for objects, AC, hit points, and it has a range, so you can sort of decide yourself as well what you think it is.
Yeah, I looked at this recently.
I would like to go into a childish rage as something hasn't gone my way, so I kick it several other times.
So it does.
It just won't break. I don't understand it.
Let's have a looky here. So, yeah, okay. So, it's got an AC. And, yeah, that's
If it
kind
helps,
of...
I've got big chainmail boots.
Yeah, okay. So you're doing 3 points of damage here. So, roll... Look, eventually this thing's going to come off. I was going to say it's got a hardness of 2, so 1 point of damage every single time you hit it. But if you're going to sit there and just bang, 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 just keep kicking at it, eventually it comes free. And
Perfect. And just for my knowledge, is that going off the locked metal, or are you going off the wood? Wood's got a hardness of 2.
yeah, a bit of both. Mixing it together
cool.
a little bit.
Fujin will call it. That's not a bad idea, though. We should probably see if there's anything useful in here. Or, Thana, you mentioned upstairs when we were traveling through the house that sometimes ghosts have a personal effects, things we're looking for, something important to them. Maybe we might find something in these chests. There seems to be one in each room.
I did mention that, and for the record, they are not ghosts, she says, sort of as she starts digging around.
I'll dig through the last one, because that's where I sort of ended up after my trail of all these rooms, and I'll pick the lock after. Bill, Dan, you said out loud that it seems safe.
Yeah, 100%. There's no issues.
Yep, sweet. I'll try the last room just here with lockpicking tools.
What's going on with my above VTT? Oh, I just lost it all. Give me 1 second while I bring that back up for the people at home. When I find it, all right, we'll log that one back in. So just give me one moment while I fix that. No, not that one.
I want to fight against the box, people. Do I level up?
I thought you just said I want to fart against the box.
All right.
I want to fart in the box.
Yeah, so Tane farts into the box and then just closes it again, and he's like, yeah, anyone who's in there is going to have a hard time. Anyway, so that first one, Tane, that you kicked open, are you looking in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, so opening that one up, rusty iron hinges, you've made a lot of noise busting it open, but inside you can see there's a folded piece of black cloth in the bottom of the chest. That's really all that's there. You want to grab it, or? Yeah, all right, you grab it, you pick it up, you feel like there's something like in it, like rocks or something, and you unfold it and you find there are 3 gemstones worth 10 gold pieces a piece. So, yeah, moss agates if you're interested in what they are exactly. All right, who's next?
I'll have started lockpicking the southern one, the final of these 5 rooms in that sort of clockwise fashion.
Yeah, all right. Roll me that check.
You have 15.
15.
Yeah.
Yep, that's good enough. You pop that lock, and inside that one, that's the southeastern room.
Yes.
In the bottom of that chest, you find a short sword, and you pick it up. There's something strange about like the weight of it. Yeah.
That makes sense. I probably would notice that straight away, especially after constantly with my scimitar, having it at my side, balancing the weight of it with my monkish fighting.
Yeah. So you flip it around.
Sort of odd in my hand.
ting, ting, ting. You like maybe you tap it on the wall a couple of times, and you realise that this is a silvered short sword.
Oh. Then, Thana, you said that silver is good against creatures of the occult. And I'll
That's
sort of
correct. I did say that.
Wave the sword around. Lucky me then.
Oh, wait,
Bill,
no.
Sorry. Go.
I want that. I'm in charge.
You can pick one of the other 2 empty rooms.
Oh. And she sort of walks off towards another room, stomping childishly, mumbling about poopy butt heads.
Fritz, do you want to check that last one, just so that we can get these all sorted? Many hands make light work.
Alright, so we're going to go around and check each one of these boxes. Eventually you're going to be able to open them, so I'm not going to drag things out too much at this point. So the room that Bill is in, the northeasternmost room, contains a strange leathery pouch with a drawstring. Inside, there's 60 silver pieces and 11 gold pieces.
Oh.
In the room to the northwest, oh wait, yeah, we've already done that one. Northwest, there is a black leather eye patch with a opaque orangey reddish brown gemstone sewn into it.
I think that's the one you went to. Grace.
Yes. So Grace, you find an eye patch with a gemstone sewn into it, and then
She's not fucking happy.
the last one, which would be the
This was
south
for Fritz.
western, I think.
Yeah.
Fritz finds an ivory hairbrush with silver bristles worth $25. And
Wait. If the hairbrush is worth that much, how much is the sword worth?
110 gold pieces.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and as that's happening, Tana, you're bolting around the room in fear. You see Bright Eyes starts to sniff the air and approach the corridor that leads towards the southeast. He's like sniffing the air. Or she, I can't remember what it is.
I'll pat. Good pup. This is the way that we were going to go. Thana, do you mind if we leave the well for last? If it's our most important place to search, then maybe we want to hold off.
Oh, I gave up on the well ages ago. I want to go down the hallway.
Okay. And yeah, I'll continue the chalk line. Turning to the left each time. I'm not sure where Fritz was going, but as much as I trust Fritz, everyone's acting real fucky at the moment, so Fujin's sort of just trusting himself.
Alright, so the corridor continues for 20 or so feet, then splits into a T intersection, continuing towards the east for another 10 feet. You come across the intersection, another 5-foot wide corridor that seems to disappear into the darkness towards the south for an indeterminate amount of feet, just off into the darkness.
Yeah, with the same way the chalk's been going, it'll still be against this wall, so I'm just going to keep going. Oh.
Nope, because I've paused it right there. So,
okay.
As you step into the center of that corridor, so about 10 feet towards the south, all of a sudden the floor gives away with a loud crack as hidden just beneath a thin layer of dirt appears to be some kind of trap, and you fall 10 feet straight down into a pit, and the bottom of the pit is lined with these sharp stakes, and you are going to fall prone and take
no saving throw.
no saving throw for this one. Yep. Nope. That's just happens. So
That just happens.
just happens. So you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage, rolling like absolute trash here, and
Good.
7 points of piercing damage as one of those stakes just pierces straight through like your abdomen just above the hip.
Fuck! I'll be lying down in there as that, brought me to bloody, nearly dead.
Thana sort of like leans over the pit and points at Fujin. She's like, see now, if I was in charge,
Just help me!
that would not have happened.
As it's like sticking through probably like my abdomen from the lower side all the way through my torso.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, can we reach him?
Awesome.
Well, it's 10
What'd you say,
feet.
5 foot long, but 10 feet deep.
10 feet deep. So, yeah, 5 foot wide both ways and 10 foot deep. And at the bottom of it, there's like these spikes, and it's like just straight, flat, vertical, just packed dirt.
Sorry, Bill.
Tane, do you have a rope?
Bill's got your rope, and he'll pass an end to Thana and Tane and say, "Hold on to this. I'll get him." And he'll dangle the rope over to Fujin and be like, "Grab this. We'll pull you up."
Okay. And I'll grab onto it.
And what I'll get is a quick saving throw from Tane as you witness this happening. Give me one moment while I bring up that one. Yeah, so I'll get you to roll.
One quick question: Did I witness it happen?
Yes, I think that you did. At least you may not have witnessed it happening, but I think you step and you see the aftermath of it having happened, right?
Yeah, I'm happy to roll. I was just
Yeah.
asking whether I was
Roll a wisdom saving throw for me.
14.
14. You are okay at this point, but you definitely feel that other presence like panicking in your mind, but you're able to resist the effects. And I imagine like you drop a rope down, Bill. You guys can haul Fujin back up. He clambers back up. You maybe have to take a step back so he can, get into that square over there, and you can see that there's a 5 foot wide spike pit, like right in the middle of that corridor. Maybe Fujin's like bleeding a little bit. What do you do?
A little bit.
A lot.
That went through my torso. I'm on 5 hit points at the moment. One of you, please tell me you have some sort of healing capabilities if you're adventurers.
Are you dying? Thana asks.
Probably.
Yeah, Tane can do some healing.
I'm not an adventurer, but Tane's a well-known one.
I would also like to use my poisonous tools to assess myself if I'm poisoned at the moment, if there's any sort of disease from whatever the hell just happened.
Yeah, man. Just roll a medicine for us. I think it's probably the best thing that we're going to use here.
Aside from the obvious tetanus that you've got.
So it'll be intelligence, but it's customized. Here we go. Oh, outcomes. Natural 20. Thank God.
You're fine.
Yeah, so we pulled him out of the pit.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a question. When we went up a level, it gave me my spells back.
Did
Did I
it?
cross them off?
Yeah, you haven't rested, so generally speaking, you shouldn't get your spells back. So yeah, whatever you've used.
A natural 20.
Yes, so you're fine. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, no poison. Okay. What healing am I getting?
Well, I can do 5 of my lay on hand, so I'm going to pull him up on the rope and then go to his wound and just put my hand over it, and hand starts to glow and go, listen, oh my god, and yeah, just does 5 points of healing, and then just like,
Thank you.
oh. All right, well, I think we got our answer. Time to go.
Okay, and I'll just, I guess, hop over the gap.
Yeah, no need to roll a check for that. It's only 5 feet wide, so you can easily jump over that with your athletics. So I'll go ahead and... Where's that?
I won't spam you with saying it, but I will from now on be doing like active perception checks of each hallway. I've got my passive, which is 15 if you wanted to use that as a base point. Otherwise, I'm happy to roll for every single hallway if you'd like to. But that Fujin's not letting that happen again.
So yeah, one thing that I like to do is use that passive perception for anything that changes in the environment, anything that is static. I will require like a roll in order to determine if there's something there. So if there is like something trying to hide in the room, you know, it's moving, it's changing, passive perception.
If I don't say otherwise, I'm just going to say there's a static ability at the moment. Christian perception checks everything.
All right, so leaping over that gap, you land on the other side. You guys see Fujin now across a 5 foot wide gap, and maybe even Fritz is like, are you sure that's the way we need to go?
If you want Bright Eyes to do another sniff, but I'm following what I used to do in the woods. Put your hand on one side of the trees or bushes or cave system, and you just keep following it.
Oh, and remind me where that got you. Oh, that's right. In a pit. Impaled.
I won't say you're wrong.
There's another corridor towards the east as well, but if we all want to go south, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't. Fujin...
Oh yeah, I don't think I'll go south. I think I'll go east, or back up top, whatever's easiest.
Once you get to that spot there, you notice there's another 5 foot wide corridor, Fujin, but without any torchlight, you can't really see anything down that way.
I'll call Bill to come this way.
And Bill, okay. Then he runs and jumps and only just makes it.
All right, you get to that
with
point.
A -1 to his athletics and an 8 to his strength. I think he makes it by centimeters, not meters.
Maybe even Fujin like reaches over and like grabs you by the scruff of your shirt and pulls you across.
The tie. I grab the end of your tie and pull you over.
Yeah, I land with just my toes, and I'm just winding both windows up in the middle of a hot summer's day, trying to balance, and you get the tie.
Fine. I'll like pat your tie on your chest. Let's keep going.
Let's talk about you, Tane. Which way do you want to go?
Tane walks up to the pit and goes, yeah, nah. Walks back. I'll go the long way.
All right, so Tane heading towards the east. The corridor continues for another 10 feet and then hooks towards the right, so heading south for about another 5 feet. You take a step down towards the south, and to the east you can see it opens up into a wider room. In the center of the room you can see there is a plain wooden table flanked on either side by long benches. And you have a lit torch as well, so you can see as you enter into the room, moldy humanoid bones that are strewn across the dirt floor. Fujin and Bill, as you head towards the south, that sound of muffled chanting gets a little bit louder, as you continue in that direction. Thana, which way would you like to go? You can head further towards the east, following Tane, or south, jumping over the spiked pit.
Well, since Fujin has decided he's jumping over the pit, naturally, Thana's gonna do the complete opposite. And also, like, I think probably Rose would be wanting to protect her little brother. So she's gonna be following after Tane, just like keeping an eye out.
Yeah, and just so we all, I was waiting for the right time, but basically, Tane, when he sees all the bodies, takes a step in the room like, right, fuck this.
Absolutely not.
And just runs out.
No, Thana just sort of puts her hand, like up against like both of the walls, like blocking him. He's
Barge
like,
is passed.
barges past.
Attempts to.
What do I have? I don't want to hurt you.
I would say instead of
command.
rolling anything here,
You can just roll
let's yes and each other here, and you just say, what does Thana do?
Ooh, Thana would probably just like roll her eyes, just be like, oh, what a baby. Come back here. They're just a bunch of dead people.
Hearing the arguing a little bit, as well as the noise picking up, Fujin will probably call up slightly raised, with a raised voice, hoping that it is a bit more audible, considering how silent the hallways are otherwise at the moment behind us. We found the correct direction. The chanting's louder. Come here now.
And you guys hear that echoing across the walls. Maybe the sound of it disturbs another centipede, which drops from its hiding place and scatters along the floor. Dust falls from the ceiling. And as things settle, Fujin, that chanting starts to get clearer in your mind. You can hear it clearer now as you're standing at the top of this staircase that descends down into the darkness below. The words echoing up to greet you. And the hairs on the back of your neck stand on end as what you thought was just a dream starts to haunt your reality. Not unlike my worst horror creature. He is ancient. He is the land. He is ancient. He is the land. A chorus of voices chanting over and over and over again. Those same words that haunted you in your dreams the night before you left from the tavern in episode 1. And we'll see you next week.
Yay!
Oh boy.
Time to go into the basement's basement.
The basement's basement. I love that.
So, taking a couple of points of damage here. Not too bad. I think things went pretty well this episode. How do you guys feel as we go in deeper
I
into
feel a lot better if something happened.
this? Like what? What are you expecting to have happen here?
I don't know. I landed in a pit trap. Felt very progressive for my character.
We also unlocked all those chests.
We brought the children out of the rooms. I
Several
put,
key milestones.
put chalk on a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that box I defeated?
You did defeat
Mighty
that box.
We've entered into the basement. Is that the trigger?
The trigger for what specifically? Is there something that you want to ask me, or
The level up.
absolutely not?
Another level to go.
Look,
So
if,
I guess
A ghost
I guess
face.
what we're saying is we can chalk it up to a good session.
oh, it's very good.
Ah!
Now you definitely don't level up, and you never will.
It was definitely
I'm
it
sorry.
was definitely out of the box.
Yeah.
Okay. That was fun.
Yeah, no, look, we're delving deeper. A little bit of a dungeon crawl situation going on here. You've followed a particularly circuitous route to get where you are, and I mean, there's still a lot to be explored, but heading down deeper into the dungeon. As it seems, I think I tipped my hat a little bit when I said upper dungeon earlier, but it is what it is.
No, I figured that I found May's solving algorithm, and I tried to find the most simple one for what Fujin probably used when he was in like the prisons of the mages, and it's just hand on wall rule, where you just continuously follow one flat surface for as long as it'll take you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess it's leading us exactly to the. I wonder if when they made this campaign, they made it for that reason.
Possibly. There's lots of ways that this could go. Obviously, being a dungeon crawl, it's open and up to the decisions that you guys make. There's still a lot to be explored down here, especially heading down into a deeper section. Who knows how deep this actually goes, or what might be awaiting you
Also,
as you delve deeper.
Fuck Chris Perkins and Jeremy Crawford. No deck save on that trap? What the hell?
Yeah.
The rogue and monk inside me is like, I've been robbed so grievously.
I know. I felt really good when I saw that there was no saving throw attached to that one either, because there's no way I'm getting you with a spike trap if there's a saving throw attached to it. It
You're
literally
level
just
2.
says.
Here we go. Let me just nearly kill your character.
That
Look,
was brutal.
If a rogue monk makes a deck save and he doesn't say evasion, does it really happen?
Well, that's the thing. Level 2, so we don't even have evasion. You could at least just give me the fucking save.
There are,
Christian,
scenarios
I
where
will
that
tell you
actually
the,
kills you. So
The quickest campaign I've ever been in was what's the main one everyone plays, where you're on like a cart and you come across a horse and stuff?
Lost Mines?
Lost Mines. So it's the first campaign I ever played in. I picked a wizard, and we're on a cart going to somewhere, and the DM's like, your passive perception didn't notice the sniper, and I got hit with an arrow for like 9 damage and killed me. So I didn't get to roll. I didn't get to say anything. I was literally start campaign. Passive perception didn't see. You're dead. I was like,
That's fun.
yeah,
What it's like to be a real low-level adventurer.
I've run that
It's not a
encounter
fun
as
game.
well. That's a choice. That's a choice that someone made to make that happen. But there's definitely like you got off fairly light. I didn't roll particularly high because little
that's all good.
peek
could've
behind the
been
DM
higher?
screen. Yeah, it could have been a maximum of 26, so twice your hit points.
Oh!
That would have been dead.
Yeah. Max damage was insta-death, and high quantity of the other results was at least unconscious.
Yes, so just a medium roll here would have put you down,
And-
put you unconscious. So
Wait, unconscious as well. Are we doing the brutal criticals? So when you go unconscious, you get a lingering injury.
I don't think so because I haven't read that.
Okay.
What I'll say is, I think what might be fun is if you go down in combat and get put back up again, I'd say maybe you have a point of exhaustion. I think that's probably the easiest way to sort of do it, because I'm not a huge fan of people going down, popping up, going down, popping up, going down, popping up. So that might be something that we can explore in the future.
If we sing the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, does that counter it?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Well, I got knocked down, but I got up again.
Oh, right.
That's
Yeah.
Wamba.
That's one. Thumping, whatever it is. No, but I appreciate it. Thank you everyone for hanging out with us. Saxy Aussie, as always, in the chat. It's been a blast hanging out with you guys and playing a little bit of D&D. Make sure you join us again tomorrow night. Same time, 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be picking up a brand new campaign. We're going to be doing a little bit of a prelude to the actual story tomorrow night, because one of our players is unable to join us, and we don't want to start the full-on campaign without him. So it's going to be a bit unhinged, but that's okay. That is Vecna, Eve of Ruin, and it's featuring me as a player, and Mark Hillman's going to be in the DM seat, and we've got a brand new awesome cast of players in that one, and that'll be every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Make sure you join us next Monday as well, same time, same place, for the next episode of the greatest gothic horror D&D actual play live stream, Beckoned Blackest Nights. Thank you, Christian, Mods, Dan, and Grace. Hopefully Jem can join us again next week. Make sure you leave a comment on the VOD on YouTube, and I'll read it out. I kind of forgot to do that this week, but hey, we'll do it again next week. Thanks, guys. Good night. And
Thank you.
may all your 20s be dirty as shit. Good night.